Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 Paws and Claws run. Hope you're all doing well. So, Builder is a character I've been asked pretty frequently to play with the new update, so we're going to give it a go. I have never tried an elemental build on the Builder, I don't believe, so we're going to go Tasers, and I'm hoping to roll into a Particle Accelerator eventually, because I think that would be a really cool weapon to have on the turret, so that's what we're going to go for. I think it's interesting that people are really interested in seeing Builder with the pets, because I actually think it's not a very synergistic character for the new mechanics. You have reduced damage scaling, so you won't easily be able to increase the pet's damage, and you can't roll Bottom Line, which is the one that would be best for this character because it's a structure, which the Builder is disallowed from rolling. Here I'm going to roll for harvesting, and I'll roll one more time. We could take regen or armor here as well, but I'm going to roll for harvesting. I really like to get early harvesting on this character, since it makes it significantly easier to actually scale your character. Though here, I think I'm just going to take the 5 luck as another economy stat. Spending that much on rerolling stats, I think, is generally going to be a bad idea. We'll go ahead and pick up the Taser. Alien Tongue, I will ban on the Builder. You don't really want to increase your pickup radius. This character has reduced pickup radius for a reason. Penguin is good enough to leave in the pool, but I think I won't lock it because there are more important items that we could roll in the early game. Claw Tree and Boxing Glove. Claw Tree is pretty bad for this character. Boxing Glove I might leave in as well. Knockback can be pretty useful with Tasers, but again, we will try to pick up more important items early on. Lost Duck. So this is an interesting thing. Usually with Taser, you would never buy Lost Duck because it has -1 elemental damage. But with the Builder, you have 75% reduced damage modifications. So negative elemental damage is less impactful. I'll definitely lock the Coffee. I think I'm just going to still ban the Lost Duck, though. While luck is good, it's not worth reducing our weapon damage, which we definitely do want to increase. We'll also go ahead and ban the Insanity here, and then I'll roll again. Mutation, we're still not going to buy elemental damage either, so I'm just going to ban that. We've used a lot of bans here, and then we'll lock a Scar and roll again and lock another Taser. I was really hoping to find 4 Tasers, because that would, of course, have helped boost our economy with the support weapon tag. Unfortunately, we got a little unlucky there. You'll notice, of course, that our turret does have a Taser, and it will fire multiple projectiles and get the increased scaling from those extra projectiles that the Builder turret has. So that could be a little more interesting. I still don't think this is a great weapon for the turret, but it's one that I haven't tried, so we're going to give it a go. Here, I will keep rolling for more Tasers, and we'll roll again, buy another one, roll again, and being able to upgrade our Taser will be really nice. Of course, that will help scale our turret as well. Like I said, I'm interested in trying to roll into Particle Accelerator. If it doesn't happen, then I'm pretty happy to just try seeing what it looks like to play Tasers on the Builder. And maybe we end up with a different weapon. A flamethrower could be pretty fun on the Builder turret as well, if we roll into one of those. So we're just going to play it normal and see kind of what happens and go with the flow. We'll take 6 HP here. It's a level 2 upgrade, so usually pretty nice to grab those. Then I'm going to re-roll, and I'll take 3 engineering. That will help scale the damage of our turret. So the way that the Builder's turret works, by the way, if you aren't familiar with this, is it will inherit the properties of your best ranged weapon. So in this case, we buy a level 2 Taser. Now it's a level 2 Taser. That means that it fires 2 projectiles, and they each scale with 70% of our engineering, because it's going to inherit whatever your normal weapon scaling is, and then convert that to engineering. That means that Taser is going to fire a lot of projectiles, and it'll get extra range, which is pretty nice as well. What we will need is more piercing, so we're going to be looking for that. The Rat is actually a pet that can help us out quite a bit, because we will, of course, buy HP on this character, so the Rat can help us scale. I think I'll buy the Taser, we'll lock Shady Potion and the Rat, I'll ban the defective steroids, Um, 29 for 2 HP is okay, and we can still reroll here. Maybe I actually take the defective steroids just because HP is so important for this character, and then we'll go ahead and lock another taser. Also, up until wave 5 on the builder, I'm usually just going to pick up materials for myself. Starting on wave 5, I'll feed the turret some materials, but early on you want to make sure that you've got your economy and defensive stats starting to roll on your actual character before you start investing really heavily in improving the turret. Otherwise, you can fall too far behind and you end up too weak to be able to survive with your actual character. You can see we've still got okay damage, so I'm going to get that curse. We should be able to kill this tree here. Sadly, no crate. I did end up leaving a lot of materials. That's okay. The turret ate them, so that's still totally fine. I'll take 5 more harvesting here, and then I'm going to reroll this. I feel like we can do better. We'll pick up 2 armor. And in this spot, what I'm going to do is combine to a level 3 taser. When you're playing the builder, leveling your actual weapons is really nice, or leveling your highest level weapon is really nice, because it also levels the turret, so it's sort of like buying 2 level 3 weapons here. And then we'll roll, lock another one, and in fact, this is an awesome shop, so we'll just lock all of these. If we roll into an item that we want, of course we'll buy it. If we roll into an item that we don't want, we can ban it and get a free reroll, so either way, that's pretty nice. And then this wave, I'm going to start picking up about half of the materials that drop and feed the other half to the turret so that we can start scaling it. It will get extra projectiles, which don't matter as much when we're using Taser, since it comes with extra projectiles, so it's less impactful to scale the number of shots that we have. But that's still going to be a pretty useful upgrade. I think we got the Curse Alien. Yeah, so I'm going to pick up a few more of these materials. We fed a little more than half to the turret there. And then let's do a reroll. More attack speed is still good. It, of course, doesn't affect our turret, but it does help our actual weapons, which is still very important. We'll buy all of these. We'll ban the injection. Buying percent damage is not that critical for this character, and we get a free reroll here, like we just talked about. And then we'll pick up a taser. Whetstone, I think, is actually worth grabbing. The lifesteal is really good healing with tasers. It's also helpful with pets, so we can buy Whetstone for some pretty decent healing. And then we'll pick up the book and the weird food. I'll throw in one more reroll. We're still only on wave 5. Because this character starts with a bunch of harvesting and we bought a support weapon, we look like we're ahead of where we actually are. We have more items than you typically would on wave 5. But we're still only on wave 5, so we're actually still guaranteed to see weapons in the shop, and we'll go ahead and lock the taser here. I'm also going to lock the feather, because we can buy these 3 and ban feather, which is an item we don't care about, and then again, get a free reroll. The base damage from our pets is pretty nice still. So we might still buy things. I mean, we'll buy Blazemander for sure. We would probably still buy cats and bonk dogs as well, just for more assistance with killing stuff. Of course, this character's main challenge is going to be getting kills, because our damage is very low with the weapon that we've chosen, and it doesn't synergize that well with our turret. So we're going to have to focus on getting some damage and some killing power in order to make up for that. I think I will take 8 more harvesting. It's really nice to have high harvesting on the builder, because then you don't have to worry about picking up materials, and you can feed more to the turret. Also, our turret has hit level 2, so it's now firing an extra projectile. Notice it's 9x4 here, whereas the normal taser is 9x3. And its attack speed, its structure attack speed, and range have also increased as well. I am going to go ahead and combine to a level 3 turret, or taser here, so that we can get to level 4 as quickly as possible, and then we'll ban the feather, take a reroll. Piggy bank, obviously we want the cursed pencil. Piggy bank and gambling token I'm not going to take. We're going to not have enough money to invest in dodge, and we will never hold money, because this character needs to get stronger every wave, so piggy bank is pretty weak on us. We will take the duct tape, and Peaceful Bee, we don't care about losing the melee and range damage, so the harvesting is still good. The dodge is kind of wasted. I think it's still worth buying Peaceful Bee at this point in the game, though this is close as to whether the 4 harvesting is going to be worth it. But this character wants a critical mass of high harvesting, because that will allow you to much more easily reach the point where you are self-sufficient in terms of your income, and you can feed more money to the turret without losing out on your actual character. I was hoping to kill this healer. Then we would have been able to clear the walrus without having it get healed back up. We'll go over here and get the tree. I guess not quite enough attacks landed on the tree, so I'm gonna loop my way back around. I did see that there was a tree in the bottom left corner, but given how long it took to kill the one on the right, we weren't going to be able to get both, so I wanted to focus on the one I knew we could kill. Sharp Bullet is really good. Piercing shots are really important, so we're going to be very happy to grab that. Also, piercing damage is, because the builder has minus 75% to all damage modifiers, that includes special damage bonuses like piercing damage and percent and damage against bosses. So while normally we would lose 20% damage on the Sharp Bullet, on the builder we only lose 5%. So it helps our piercing damage stay high. I could take the movement speed, but I think I'm going to reroll here. I'm looking for HP, engineering, or regeneration of some kind. And I think I need the max HP here. And then I will take 15 more attack speed. Still very helpful for this run. We'll buy all of these items and then reroll. Getting to combine to a level 4 taser is going to help our clear speed a lot. We'll also take another tree. Tentacle we're going to pass on, and then I'll roll again. I'm saving my last ban, by the way, to get a free reroll whenever we can ban the last item in the shop. Coupon and duct tape are both great. Snail, I don't think we care about it, and I don't want to reduce my speed, so I'm not going to lock the snail. Continuing to pick up some of the materials and feed some to the turret. And I tend not to think that there is a sort of hard rule for how many you should give to your character and how many you should give to the turret. You should play it a little more by ear based on whether you feel like you can afford to feed the turret without your character getting too weak. And in this case, I think that our actual character is doing pretty well. We've got pretty good economy. We've got decent damage stats, given the weapon that we're using and everything. And our defenses are okay. So I'm going to err on the side of feeding a few more materials to the turret, which is why I'm not going to the middle and picking up all of those that we've left there. Gambling token, free in a box, I'm still going to pass on. I don't think we're going to end up building dodge, so we'll just recycle that. And then here, let's take 6 more maximum health. I do need to get my max health up to a much more reasonable total. We'll take duct tape, we'll take the reinforced steel. Losing speed is still bad, but all engineering on the builder is really important. This character gets extra engineering modifiers, and it's going to scale the damage of our projectiles significantly. I think I will go up to at least level 2 tasers on my actual character. Silver Bullet I'm going to pass on because we buy percent damage at 25% of the normal rate, so you get very little value from Silver Bullet. Jelly Shield is an interesting item as a pet for this character, and then we'll roll again. I'll buy another taser and a broken mouth as well. So if we can get a few more Jelly Shields, that could actually really help defend our character, which would be very nice. Finding that Sharp Bullet was massive, by the way. That's super important given the weapon we're using. Obviously, if we do find a particle accelerator, which we're still hoping for, then it will be significantly less important since it has a lot of piercing already. But given that we're using Taser, which desperately wants piercing, very nice to find that. Still remains a pet peeve when you kill one of those high health enemies and it drops no materials. like that hatcher just did, and like that flasher just did. Enemies that drop multiple materials, so here's how it should work, because the reason that happens is that as you go deeper in the game, enemies get a chance to not drop materials, because they want more enemies, but they don't want to overwhelm the game with too much money. So the way that should work is that it should multiply the number of materials that they would normally drop, based on the percent chance that you currently get to not drop materials, and then only the last material. So, for example, let's say you have 60% material drops, and this enemy normally drops 5 materials. It should just drop 3 every time, rather than 60% of the time dropping 5, and 40% of the time dropping none. Because it feels really bad when that happens. And then if it is a fractional number, then it should roll. We'll take 3 armor here. That would just solve the problem completely, and I don't know why they didn't implement it like that in the first place, but it's not too late. They can fix it. I don't think we need the padding. It's pretty inefficient, but we'll definitely take the metal here, and then we'll roll. So Lootworm is a really interesting item for this character. This is one I was actually really curious about. I'm gonna buy it. It will make it harder to feed materials to the turret. But I'm very curious as to how this will affect the builder. We're also about to hit 150 materials anyways into the turret, so it's going to be leveled up already. Also, I'm passing on boiling water, of course, because we buy elemental damage at 1/4 the normal rate, so we don't want to buy it. So I think that the Lootworm will probably make it pretty hard to upgrade the turret to maximum, but it shouldn't pick up everything, and especially if I focus on not picking up materials with my character, we'll still be able to feed some to the builder turret. So I'm thinking that it might be better than it seems. I think you should probably avoid Lootworm on the builder, but I'm interested in playing it in actual practice, because you can theorize all you want, but until you actually try something, you don't know how it's going to work. Get this tree, and then we get... so we've hit max level on our turret as well, so even if we don't end up giving a lot of materials to it, it's still going to be pretty strong. Eye patch I'm going to recycle. I don't really want to build crit chance on this character, so even though extra piercing is good, this is an inefficient way to get it. And let's reroll here. I do want to fix my regeneration, but I guess we're just building lifesteal as our healing method, so let's roll again. Wow, really unlucky rolls. I'll roll one more time. Okay, we got 3 armor, so it worked out. Alright, so we'll buy the Lootworm, we'll buy the metal, we'll roll. We will then get all our tasers to level 2. And I'll buy the lemonade as well, and then do a reroll. We also haven't gotten the opportunity to ban the last item in a shop and get our free reroll as well, which is kind of funny. So I think now we can maybe just let the Lootworm pick up materials for our character, and then anything that it doesn't get will just go to the turret. And that'll be kind of our method for splitting materials between ourselves and our building. Also, I'm playing away from the turret, which, because we're using Taser, and Taser's not very good at killing things, but it is good at keeping you safe, so it's easier for us to stay alive if we're not surrounded and are using the slow from Taser to stay alive, rather than if we're trying to stay in the middle where we would have to kill everything because we'd be surrounded by it and therefore trapped. So, if you're wondering about the movement and why we're staying further from the turret, that's why. Yeah, we'll definitely take a broken mouth. I'm going to recycle the tentacle here, and then I've got to fix my movement speed, so we'll take 9 move speed. I don't think we need to upgrade our tasers again. We're not really focused on the actual damage from our character. I just wanted them all level 2 because the extra projectile is nice. So we'll buy both of those. We'll then reroll. Cursed Baby Squid. This will help fix our regeneration completely, so I will pick that up. I'll take the bat. Defective Steroids. I don't really want to buy this, so what I might do here actually is upgrade the taser, because it is still fairly helpful. Then we can use our ban, then we can get a free reroll here, and then we can buy Toolbox and Dock Moth. Now that I've got the Cursed Baby Squid, so we are going to be building some regen, I'll also lock the Mushroom to help the process of getting a decent amount of regen along. I don't think that we have enough damage, even with the extra projectiles, for our turret to kill the elite easily. We definitely have to kill the Gobbler, or it's going to eat all our money here. Though, actually, the turret's doing better at killing the elite than I thought it would. I don't think it's quite going to get there, but it's definitely doing better than I thought. Our Jelly Shield has not been doing that much, but it does make it a little bit easier to move around some of these elites' attacks. One thing that I advise when you have Jelly Shield is ignore that you have Jelly Shield. It's really easy to get into a situation where you're trying to pay attention to blocking projectiles with the jelly instead of just trying to dodge them and stay alive. And here you can see I'm doing some very poor movement. I basically took the worst pathing. Fortunately, we had defensive stats, but I think I moved exactly to get hit by every single attack that wave. So just about the worst movement that I've ever done in this game. That's really funny. I'll take some armor and dodge here, and then pick up 15 luck. Dock Moth can help keep us alive. The toolbox will help out. We'll take the mushroom here. We'll roll. I'll take alien magic for sure. Black Belt, I think, is worth buying as well. And then let's go to wave 13. We don't want crystal because it reduces our engineering. So it's good that I didn't die there. That would have been embarrassing. But it does go to show that if you've built your character reasonably well, then you can often survive even when you make pretty severe play mistakes. Which in this case I definitely did. I do like that our, I don't think we're going to be able to stop the mini-boss from spawning, unfortunately. But I do like that our rat was hunting down the Lootworm for us. I'm going to stay in the Dock Moth aura if I can. Now we're going to have to run away from these goblin sharks and heal back up. It's also, of course, much harder to move appropriately, given that our weapon doesn't kill anything. We'll take the penguin here. Alien Baby, I'm going to recycle. Pencil we'll take, and then let's do a reroll. Don't want crit chance, I'll roll again. I'll take 2 more armor, and I'll roll here. If the game lets me. For some reason, the reroll wasn't working there. Let's pick up 2 more lifesteal. I definitely need more healing. I'll take the penguin. Buying the pumpkin has the same problem as things like Silver Bullet. The piercing damage is multiplied by 25, multiplied by 0.25. So we end up not even making up the difference from the minus 5%. It's just not worth it. We'll roll here. Campfire's okay. Metal detector is going to be good because increasing our engineering, of course, is great. And I've got the move speed. I think I will buy the campfire. The 1 elemental damage, I believe, will push us because we get we'll get 0.5 elemental damage when we buy campfire here. Because we have 5 base elemental damage, and I think have picked up 1 or 2, I believe this will push us up to 2 and actually increase the damage that we're doing per shot. Decomposing flesh at this point in the game, I think, is still worth it. We need all the healing that we can get, so we're going to go ahead and lock that. Jelly Shield really gets good when you get 3 of them, so having seen only 1 definitely means that it's not at its strongest. Trying to leave the materials in the center of the map as well so that our turret does get some food. And of course, we want the Lootworm to pick up more materials than we pick up since it does have the 10% multiplier. Getting some decent regen at this point now. Sad Tomatoes are a really nice find as well. I'll take some more movement speed. I need to be able to stay ahead of these enemies, and we're about to reduce our move speed, and then I'll roll. Scared Sausage, this is 2 damage per tick. Okay, so I was wrong. It didn't push me up to 2 elemental damage. 2 damage per tick. The fire isn't terrible, and it does effectively double the damage of our weapons. So I think I will take the Scared Sausage. That one's pretty close. And then we'll take a compass. I don't think I really want to worry about knockback, so I'm going to pass on the boxing glove here. Alright, so we haven't really increased our turret damage, unfortunately, since the last elite wave. So I still don't think we're going to be able to kill the elite. Just haven't been given a lot of opportunity to buy engineering. Okay, the Jelly Shield was really good there. We were going to take a big hit from that pufferfish explosion, and the Jelly Shield blocked the projectile as it spawned, which was kind of cool. But that last hit, where you heard the, like, puck when it went off, is a good example of why the projectile's blocked stat is quite misleading on this item, because it blocked it after that projectile had already gone past us, and so it wouldn't have affected the game at all. Here, I could take 4 regen, I could roll for more armor, I could roll for dodge. We've actually built up 8 dodge, and we have enough money that dodge is starting to become more attractive. And we are going to be getting lifesteal and regeneration. So let's roll. I'll pick up another defensive stat if we happen to see a good one. Yeah, we'll take 9 dodge here. I don't know that we'll end up building super high dodge, but if we do, it'll be really good. All right, well, we got the best possible item for the character. Nail means that suddenly the damage scaling on our tasers is going to be really good with our high engineering. Now our actual character is going to do a lot of damage. It will also make our rat do engineering-based damage as well. So Nail means that it synergizes, that the pets really do synergize with this item with the builder. If you happen to get those, because you can see we get the extra damage scaling here. I will take the Bonk Dog because we have that. I might not have taken it otherwise, but when it's doing 20 damage a hit and 18 on the explosion, it's actually not a bad item at all. And then let's reroll, and we'll pick up another compass and pass on the other 2. Using the Moth Aura, of course, to heal back up at the start of the wave. Then I definitely want to hunt down and kill the towers. Killing the Stargazers is going to be harder. Our weapon damage still isn't that high, of course, even with the nail. But we now have the damage to kill the towers, which makes it a lot easier. And because we're using Taser as our weapon, the buffed Stargazers are not that big a deal. They're just going to get slowed to the point where they can't chase us down. Actually, one purchase that I didn't think through all the way in this game was the snail. We are using Taser, and slowing enemies stacks really well with itself, because of course, the more you've slowed them, the more subsequent reductions in their movement speed reduce their move speed proportionally. And the more threat you have... oh, that wasn't max level. This is max level. Oh, well. I'm sure people have let me know about that in the comments. I think we can get away with the bait, even though it's only 2% damage. We should be okay there. Catling gun works well with nails, so again, we'll take these pets, and we'll take the compass. I'll take plant as well. We get a free reroll, and getting the regen is good. And then we'll roll here. We will pick up the whistle. I don't think whistle is that good. I'll take the blindfold, though, this late. I'll take the blindfold, though, because we're at 17 dodge. And I think we can get away with the bait because we're just going to back away from the loot aliens and let our turret take them out anyways. Yeah, okay, so the fact that I just forgot that the turret had a 4th level. And the fact that it took us this long to reach it does mean that the Lootworm was really costing us turret growth. So I really don't think that that worked out, unfortunately. We are close to being able to kill the elite. I'm going to stand right on the turret so that because this elite does follow the player. If I stand right on the turret, it'll get stuck in the area, and the turret will actually put damage on it. And we were able to kill the elite there, thanks to our newly level 4 turret. We'll recycle statue, we'll take the lucky charm. Cursed Gobbler's Hat does cost us dodge and speed, which we want, but obviously the stats on this are incredible even this late in the run, so we're going to take that. We'll take the mouse for sure as well, and then I'm going to reroll the attack speed. I'm really looking for dodge or move speed or armor. Those are the stats that we need to be able to survive more easily. I've got 15 lifesteal. Goblet, we're actually not killing stuff that much, so I think I'm going to pass on both of these items. I will take fried rice. It goes very well with the scared sausage that we have. Baby squid, it's a little too late for it to be good. I still don't want to buy Knot because we, of course, could still find a particle accelerator, which is what we're hoping for. We'll take Erupted Shard just for the curse, and we'll pick up a Shady Potion as well. The extra luck will help us heal in the late game. Our cat's over there doing nothing. My cat is right here doing nothing. His normal state. I like that the Gobbler's Hat, it turns so green when you go into the Moth aura. So I know Builder is disallowed from using other structures, but I do think you should still be able to roll Pocket Factory. It's so fun, and it would be such a cool item for the character. We'll take the Cursed Butterfly when it shows up in a shop like that. Charcoal, I guess I'll take it. We could maybe hit 2 elemental damage, though we're actually still shy of that. And then I'll take 9 more HP, do another reroll, take 9% dodge. Now we're at 26 dodge, so we're getting there. We will pick up the toolbox and reroll here. Cursed Compass is great. That's a lot of engineering and move speed, which we want very much. And then we'll roll. I'll take the metal plate. I'll take Campfire, and we'll save our reroll on 41. Also, you can see how much money we got last wave because of the Cursed Gobbler's Hat. So yeah, so I think that the conclusion is, unsurprisingly, Lootworm is not good on the Builder. It's not as bad as it could be, because leveling the turret at this pace was still fine. But I think that this run would have been a little smoother without the Lootworm. We'd have been able to get our turret to level 4 and wouldn't have had that kind of mid-game slump where we were struggling a little bit to clear waves. We'd also have probably been able to kill the earlier elites because our turret would have been just a little bit stronger. Though, that said, my actual character would have been a lot weaker, so there were upsides to playing it this way as well. I'll take the mirror. Maybe we get something fun. Bag doesn't do anything going into wave 20. We'll take Gentle Alien, though, and Metal Detector. And then I'll take 5 more engineering. I really want more engineering so that we can potentially kill the bosses. Wow, plus 10 engineering is awesome there. I'll double the metal plate over doubling the campfire, and then I'll take a Catling gun and a Bonk Dog. Both of those could help us kill the bosses a lot faster. We'll only ever have one structure, of course, so we'll buy the lighthouse. I'll upgrade my Taser now because we have the nails, so our actual weapon attacks matter a lot more, but I'm still not going to buy community support. I want the armor more. Sadly, we have negative crit chance, so Pile of Books. Normally pretty fun for the builder. If you get this and can build around crit chance, then it makes your turret significantly more powerful. But we'll take the Pile of Books here, just for the engineering anyways. Cursed Taser. So punished. Is there any chance I can get a Cursed Taser by selling? I would have to sell the level 4 and 2 of these. Would that be enough? That's... yeah, so I would go down to 4 weapons and we would get a Cursed level 3 Taser. I could then combine it to 3 total weapons with a Cursed level 4. A Cursed weapon is a pretty big upgrade for our turret, so I do think this is worth it. Hopefully I've done the math right. Okay, what did I just do? Oh, I combined instead of recycling. Oops. Well, that should still work out. We can still recycle here and then buy it and then combine. Meant to recycle the level 3 there. But this is still fine. So let's go ahead and go to wave 20. We've gone down to only 3 weapons, but we've replaced our turret with a cursed weapon, which has significantly improved its damage, of course. Does mean that my lifesteal is a lot weaker, because I have many fewer projectiles, but our damage should be a lot higher, so we should hopefully kill the bosses that much quicker. And there we go, that's the first one. It is nice to be able to eat the occasional projectile from the whale boss and be able to then move into that area with the jelly shield. Alright, well that was a really fun run. We definitely did some science. And I think we've determined that Lootworm, still not great on the builder. Jelly Shield when you only get 1. We did block 80 projectiles, but only like 5 of those mattered. But fortunately, building enough damage and regeneration kept me alive, even when I did some of the worst movement I've ever seen in the game. Alright, let's take a look at our items here. So, the rat did actually really good damage, because we had the nail scaling the pet's damage. Ratzilla was kind of awesome for us. Coupon saved us 230. Lootworm gave us 230 materials, so, it did increase the value of our character by quite a bit. And we still hit the level 4 turret, so, I don't know, I'm still not 100% sure about whether Lootworm was good or bad for us. I think on the whole it was a net negative, but it's honestly very close. 22 materials from the squid here. And we got 150 extra healing from the Dock Moth. This was actually very good. For this character that wants to be in specific places, the Dock Moth is, at any given time, Dock Moth is pretty nice overall. We ended up level 25 thanks to our high harvesting and buying some XP gain, so that worked out well. 5k damage from the scared sausage, but it also enabled the fried rice. Obviously, our turret dealt 65,000 damage last wave, compared to 2,000 damage on our actual weapon attacks. The cats did 15k, the dogs did about 15k as well. So these were fine, given the point at which we got them. They did help us get kills. I don't think they were that amazing, though, even with the nail. And without the nail, they definitely would have been too weak to buy. So I think pets are not something that you really want to heavily prioritize on the builder most of the time. Obviously, getting things like the lighthouse in the end game were it was incredibly strong. So this ended up being a really fun run. Taser on the builder turret, I think, is much more playable than I had expected it to be. It was easier than I thought it would be. Still not the weapon that I would naturally go for on the character, but made for a really fun run. All right, my friends, I hope that you've enjoyed this. And of course, if you have, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.